Lindsey. I'm back with another video, and for this week I thought it would be fun to go down memory lane with you guys and share with you guys all of the things that I have used in the past to manage my diabetes. I currently have all of it in this Walmart bag. So I went through my linen closet in my bathroom where I keep all of my extra adult diabetes supplies, and I found everything that I've used over the years. So I'm going to share with you guys what I've used throughout the years, including pens, pumps, different meters I've tried, and all of that fun stuff. So you guys are interested in seeing what I've used throughout my almost 16 years of having type 1 diabetes, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the very first thing I used to manage my diabetes were syringes and an insulin vial. Not going to show that because I still use that sometimes if I have stubborn highs. The very next thing that I got were insulin pens. If you guys have been diabetic for a long time, you will remember when pens looked like this. This was the long-lasting insulin case, and this was my Novolog case. So this is what my Atlantis pen used to look like. There was a spot for 2 little pen needles down here, and then an extra pre-filled vial of insulin. So this is what this bad boy looks like. This had 2 buttons up here, and this one is what you use to pop this dial up. And then you could dial the amount of insulin you wanted and then give it. These came with a prescription to get pre-filled little pen vials of insulin, and you would just screw it in there and then hit that little button, dial it up, and then you would push that button. So this button down here would eject the old little cartridges. That is what my Atlantis used to be given in. Then for my Novolog insulin pens, they used to be very, very similar to that. So now Novolog pens are just disposable, but they used to not be. And this actually isn't the original one that I had. I had a green one. But basically this is what this little case looks like, and you just had an insulin pen in here. And this is what it looked like. This was the junior one. So it was like super colorful, and it came in yellow and green. And this is a really heavy, like, metal pen. So you would take the cap off, and you would have this little area right here, which on the disposable pens the insulin would be. And you would unscrew this and put the insulin vial in this little compartment. And then you would screw it back on, and you were ready to go. So then you would do the same thing. You would put a pen needle on here. You would dial up your insulin the same way and give it the same way. One thing that you did have to do with these, which was kind of interesting, is once you finished a cartridge, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a little metal black piece right in there, and if I push this, it moves. Let's say you got to the end of the vial, what you would do is take this little orange piece and twist it, and it would lower that little black pen all the way down. So that is how I used to take insulin before I got my pump. Moving on to the very first pump that I ever got. If you guys have followed my channel for a very long time, you will know that the very first pump I ever had was the Animas One Touch Ping, which they now no longer make, which makes me very, very sad. But I loved this pump. It did have its flaws. The buttons, like the printing on the buttons, would fall apart. Mine's Gorilla taped together. I had issues with the clip, but I loved this thing. Loved that it came in different colors. It came in black, gray, blue, green, and pink, and obviously I got the pink one. But yeah, my little screen protector is like falling apart off of this guy. But this is what the pump looks like. They no longer make it. I don't have the heart to get rid of it. My battery cap was broken, so I had to duct tape that down. I really don't know why I still have a tube in here and a cartridge. But this is what the cartridges looked like on this pump. Because I think all pumps look different, so I think it's kind of cool to see what everything looks like. And One thing about this pump that's different than the T-Slim is you would have to rewind the piston for the cartridge, because the T-Slim is a bag and it just compresses the bag to give you insulin and prime the tubing, but this had like a little piston that would screw up. So yeah, I honestly don't think this thing would turn on anymore. It's that old. Keep it for memories. When I switched from the Animus to the T-Slim, my doctor was amazed that I could still see the screen. But one of the things that was really, really awesome about this pump is that it had a meter with it that connected to it. So like with the Omnipod, you have a PDM that's also a meter that you can give insulin from. You could do the same thing with the meter that came with this pump. You could give insulin from it, so they communicated, which is something that really intrigued me about this pump, because I could be wearing a dress or a skirt and give insulin right after I checked my blood sugar. But towards the end, when my screen on this pump was super, 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 super black and you could hardly see it, I relied on that a lot. This pump went through a lot with me, and this is the second one. They actually had to replace the first one, but yeah, it's taped together, but that's okay. Moving on to meters. When I say I have a lot of meters, I have a lot of meters. I honestly don't know what's in what bag, so we're just gonna go through them all. There's 3 in here, okay. So I went to a diabetes camp 3 or 4 summers in a row. It was a day camp at like a local fair, and they would always give us like freebie meters and stuff. And I always thought that was super cool. So I have 2 of those. They are the Bayer contour meters. I have one in blue, but I have a little sticker that came with it on top of it. I also have the same one, but in purple. I only used these until I ran out of the sample test strips, but I have those. And then the very first meter I used, which I have multiple of, were the plain old Freestyle Flash. I think I have like more than this. So I know I have another one of these somewhere, but these are the Freestyle Flash. This is the meter I used right after I was diagnosed. I really liked this meter. I liked how small it was. I liked how compact it was. It was super easy to use. Really, really liked this meter. And the only reason I stopped using this meter is because I got my pump. The next meter that I used was the Freestyle Lite, and it looks like this. So the Freestyle Lite is an upgrade from the Freestyle Flash. It's a little smaller, a little thinner. It's also a different color, and the buttons are a little bit different, but it's basically the same meter. Uses the same test strips, takes the same batteries, but yeah. Those are the meters I used before I got my pump. Then let's see what's in this case. I told you I had another one. I told you. Then actually, I think this was the first meter that I ever used straight out of the hospital, and this is a throwback. This is the Accucheck Avia. This meter had this little slot right here, and what was in here was a little card, and this little card was how you activated the test strips. So each bottle of test strips would have a number on it, and you would have to put the chip into the meter so that you would have accurate blood sugar readings. I had forgotten about that. Let me know in the comments if you remember when meters had to like have these little chips, or when you had to actually match the number on the vial to the number in the meter to get accurate readings, because that's how you know you've been diabetic for a minute. Then I actually really thought that I had my meter for my first insulin pump in here, but I don't know where it is. This meter I was obsessed with. Again, I never really used it. I used the sample test strips and then oohed and awed and begged to get to use it, but I never really did because I was using the Freestyle meters. This is the One Touch Ultra Mini, and I loved this meter because it was pink. So this meter came again, I think in pink, blue, green, black, and silver. Of course, I got the pink one. It was just this really, really long meter. Took the same strips, I believe, as the One Touch meter that came with my first pump. But yeah, I loved this meter. I thought it was super cute, super sleek. I really liked the case. I actually really liked all of the One Touch meter cases because they had little hard plastic spots for the meter itself, which I thought was really handy. I also have a bunch of Lancet devices in here apparently. So I have the Freestyle one that came with the Freestyle meter. Then I have the one that came with my insulin pump, the One Touch Ping, and that meter. So that one looks like this. I have this random, I don't know where it came from, lancing device. No idea how to work it. Apparently I have this guy in here as well. So yeah, that was super nostalgic and fun to go through. I really hope you guys found this video fun and entertaining. I thought it was fun to go through everything. And if you haven't been diabetic for a long time, you might not have seen long-lasting insulin pens like the one I showed you. So let me know in the comments below when you were diagnosed and if you remember any of this old technology. But with all that being said, I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. I love you all so, so much. Bye!